two books. So I know I'm gonna really love this, and I got the novella. So this is Enemies to Lovers. I need to see what book that are like around my TBR jar that I, Now I did pick another like prompt that says a book with more than 300 pages, and I have. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Dajah Nicole. So if you can tell by the title of today's video, I will be letting my TBR jar pick my September picks. So I actually made this TBR jar a couple weeks ago and I posted it on my TikTok. I actually might post it on my YouTube short soon, but I always seen people make them, do like something different when they are choosing like their TBR. So I was like, why not just find different ways to choose my TBR, which I have done one different way, which was ChatGPT chooses my January TBR. So I do want to do another ChatGPT choosing a TBR video either for October or November, but this is something different that I'm going to do. And we're going to pick out about 5 to 6 books because I'm already reading some books now that I'm going to continue to reading in the month of September because they're art reads and I just want to finish some books. So I'll probably pick 5 to 6 books that are on my physical TBR, that are on my Kindle, because mostly all my books on my Kindle right now are art reads. But let's just get into today's video, besties. If you like this video, just me doing a different way of me choosing my TBR for the month, let me know down in the comments. If you want me to do another TBR jar picks my TBR for some, or for a month, I wouldn't say some, but for a different month, please let me know and we will do that maybe next year. But let's just get into today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's just get into today's video, besties. Okay, so I want to show you my TBR jar. I made this, like I said, a couple weeks ago, and these are like bookish stickers that are like around my TBR jar that I put on, and then with sparkling like pink letters I put TBR. So we're going to pick up about 5 to 6 books, maybe 5, because I have so many books that I'm already reading right now, and then I'm going to show those books that I think fit with the prompts, because I did it by prompts or different type of books, or if I'm in the middle of a series. So let's just shake this up and pick my first pick, and I'm not going to look too, so yeah. I'm going to pick 5 actually, so yeah. So my first one, my second one, my third one, my fourth one. So I got 4, so I need 1 more. And my last prompt. So let's just put the lid back on this jar. So I have picked 5 prompts out of my jar, so I'm going to unfold one, show y'all, and then just unfold each and every one, and then I'm going to go pick out the books and then show y'all the books that I think will go with each prompt, or like little topics that is on here. So the first one that I have in my hand, can y'all see it? So it's fantasy. And I already have a book in mind on what I want to read for my fantasy pick. So I cannot wait to show y'all that. The second pick is so this is the topic on this, or the writing, what it says on here is called On My Kindle or On Kindle. So I have so many books I'm going to read on my Kindle, so I'm just going to name you all those books that are on my Kindle that I'm going to read in the month of September, or just reading now and going through the month of September, but it says on Kindle. So yeah, the next pick so this is Enemies to Lovers. I need to see what book, like I'm looking on my cart, so I gotta see what book on my cart that I haven't read that's giving Enemies to Lovers, but I think I have at least 2 books in mind that is giving that Enemies to Lovers vibe. So yeah. My fourth pick is a 2-word title, so 2 words title. This might be easy because a lot of my books have at least 2 words, so I know which I'm going to read for that one, because I was planning to read it back in actually July, and then earlier this month I just never got to it. So I know what I'm going to read for this. I'm going to pick one more because, like I said, I'm reading on my Kindle for most of the month, so there's a lot of art reads that I'm reading, and then I want to finish all my books that I have on my Kindle. So I'm still going to pick a book that I really want on my Kindle that I want to read, that I have already downloaded on my Kindle, and I'm just going to tell you all the books I'm going to read or am reading at the moment on my Kindle, but I will actually pick another pick in a few minutes, and then I'm going to get all the books for each of the prompts that I have written on these tiny pieces of paper. So this is the 5th one. So this is thriller, especially that we're getting into the fall mood. This is something that I can't wait, and I already have a book. I have heard so many good things about a book that I already have planned to read for thriller, so I can't wait to show you the books. But let's just pick out one more prompt out of my TBR jar and then get all the books for each prompt. So yeah, so let me take the top off. So this says a book that has more than 300 pages, and a lot of these books have at least 300 or almost 300 pages, but there's a book that I'm going to read that has about 600 pages. So yeah, but let me go get these books, and then I'll show y'all each book for each prompt that I have. And yeah, so I'll be right back. Give me 5 to 10 minutes. So yeah. Okay, besties, so I am back, and it took me a while because I have so many books on my physical TBR that I want to read, and it was okay, which one do I really want to read in the month of September? But I found my books, my 6 books that I'm going to read, but we're going to first name all the books that I'm going to read on my Kindle. So the first book, and I'm gonna have the pictures of the cover on the screen. So I have about 2 to 3 arc reads that I need to read on my Kindle. So my goal for the month of September is to read all of my books that I already have on my Kindle. So this one is like, oh, this is pretty ironic because I'm already planning to read on my Kindle in the first place, you know? So the first book is A Love Most Brutal by Kath Richards. It is a enemies to lover mafia romance, and it's an arc read, so I'm almost done with that. Then I'm going to read Fourth Play by Ashley Bow. I have already read one of her books, and that is also an arc read. So those are 2 out of maybe the 7 books on my Kindle that I'm planning to read. The next book is The Bridesmaid Undercover by Megan Quinn. It's been a while since I even touched this book just because I had so many arcs to read, but my goal is to finish that book this month, well, in September. So yeah, and then I want to read from both of these books are from Abby Jimenez. One is Part of Your World, and then the other one is Yours Truly. So I'm planning to read both of those books this upcoming week coming up after I finish my arc reads and get those out of the way. Then I want to read 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole. I was supposed to read that back in February, but I never got to it, so that is my goal for September. And then the last book on my Kindle that I'm planning to read is The Next Worst Thing by Sarah Jane Woodley. So those are all the books that I want to read on my Kindle. That is the plan, to finish all the books that I have on my Kindle before I add any other books on my Kindle. So I think I can do this. I've been reading a lot lately, and to be honest, I don't find it bad. So my goal is to finish all of those books that are on my Kindle. So I have about 7 books for one TBR prompt. So yeah, so let me put this back in the jar. Okay, so for the 2 words titled, I have Passion Project by London Sperry. So I wanted to read this book back in July and then August because I rarely read in July, and I got back into reading like this month. So I want to read this book, and hopefully I do get to read this book and finish it. But yeah, so this is for a 2 words title. So 2 words title. So yeah, and it is Passion Project. So yeah, Passion Project, 2 words. So the next book I got is for my enemies to lovers. So for this prompt, I am going to read Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I did read Divine Rivals last year, and I really loved that book. So I'm reading that for enemies to lovers for the month of September. So yeah. So besties, for fantasy, I'm going to read Fearless, especially that fantasy is such a fall mood, and I love reading fantasy. Is one of my favorite genres, and September is fall. That is when I'm going to start putting my fall decor. So that video is actually coming out next week, so stay tuned for that video. But this is what I'm reading for my fantasy pick for September is Fearless by Lauren Roberts, and I love the first 2 books, so I know I'm gonna really love this. And I got the novella, which is Powerful, so after I read that, I probably will read that, or if I ever do another TBR video, like Jar picks my TBR for that month, I know I have like a tiny piece of paper that says a novella. So yeah, but this is for my fantasy pick. So my second to last pick is thriller. So for my thriller pick, this one, when I picked out thriller, I knew what book I was going to get because I have heard so many like positive things about this. It's called The God of the Woods, and it's about how people get missing like at a campsite. That's what I've heard for like the summary, and I have heard that a lot of people give this like 5 stars rating and 4-star rating. So I know I'm going to like this book. I got this at Book of the Month. like last year, and it's sprayed edge. But this is what I picked for my thriller, and I can't wait to read it. Now, I did pick another like prompt that says a book with more than 300 pages, and I have a different book for that. And with a lot of these books, I knew that prompt would have like be like, oh, I don't have to pick another book because this book has 300 pages or more than 300 pages. I think this book has like 400 pages, but I'm gonna show you the book that I have that has about 600 pages. And I was kind of like scared when I picked out, because I'm like, I know what book I'm going to read for that. But this is the book that I have for my thriller pick for the month of September. So yeah. Now, my last pick that I got was a book that have more than 300 pages. I don't know if you can see it because of the sunlight, but that's what it says. And I saw this book on TikTok. I remember when it was like a whole trend for a bit. If y'all don't know the story of Anastasia and how her and her family got assassinated in the early 1900s, and a lot of people made like stories and fantasies about how she escaped her, you know, escaped her trying to not be killed, but that is false. So like there's a movie about her, and there's different books about her too, like fantasy books. So I love Sophie Lark. Sophie Lark is one of my favorite authors, and so when I saw this book on TikTok, I had to get it. And I was like, when I got it, I was like, dang, it's so thick. Like when I saw it on TikTok, it was thick, but when I had it in my hand, and I'm about to show y'all, I was like, yeah, this book is thick. So this is the book that I'm going to read for a book that has more than 300 pages, hopefully, because I'm planning to do a lot of reading in the month of September. I get through this book, because this book has about, well, not even about, I'm going to give y'all the exact page. 656 pages. I was like 300. What? No, this has 656 pages. Now, I think I will get into it because, like I said, Sophie Lark is one of my favorite authors that I've ever read. So I know I'm going to get into this and really love it. And I love history, so I know it is about a historical person, but in a fantasy type mood. But I could have picked this for my fantasy, but no, I picked this for a book that has more than 300 pages, and it has half more than 300 pages. It has 656. I was about to say 300, but 656 pages. So I can't wait to read this. I know I'm going to love it, but let me just grab all the books and show you all the books I'm going to read, and then we're going to close down this video, besties. So just give me a few minutes, and yeah. So I was surprised that I didn't pick that.
Have you ever had a dream that you
like a pick that said like me being in the middle of a series, because there's a lot of books that I'm in a middle of the series of. If you want me to do like a video just based on that, either this month or next month, let me know, because I'm planning to do that. I just don't know. I don't know when. I want to do a lot of like reading vlogs more on my channel, but these are all the books that I'm going to read. Wish me luck. Am I going to do like a 24-hour reading challenge? Hopefully I can do it, because fall is all about cozy reading and being cozy and just, you know, pretending that you're just the only person in the world and just blocking out the commotion in the background. But these are all the books that I'll be reading, besties. And if you have read any of these books, please let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, besties. I love you. And if you have any video ideas, please let me know down in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so every time I post a video, you will be notified. And I'll see you on the next video. I'm actually about to eat and then continue recording a vlog that I'm doing. But I'll see you next time. Bye, besties.